Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Off the Record with Kirk
and Gabe.
Today, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Maul Shadow Legion. Again, we're going to be doing 2 weeks of videos, or 2 weeks of episodes worth in this video, that is. Chapter 7, 8, 9, and the finale of Chapter 10. And we'll also get into a little bit of, series recap. Looking forward to, because they have they're doing Season 2, right? They've already approved it?
I'm pretty sure
they've already approved a Season 2, so looking forward to that, as well as potentially talking about some of the comic stuff, but also trying to keep this relatively short video, with hopefully no audio issues. If you've listened to any of the last couple of videos, it won't stop. I don't know what's happening, so Hopefully this time around it's a lot better. But Gabe, I want you to start us off with Chapter 7.
For sure. First, I just checked. Yes, it is officially renewed. Okay. So we will get a Season 2.
Wonderful.
Which makes me happy.
Very exciting.
All right, we're starting with Chapter 7, which is titled Call to Oblivion. The little blurb is, as enemies close in, Maul is forced to take a stand. So where Chapter 6 kind of left off was Rylee and Devon have been separated from Master Daki and Captain Lawson, and Rylee and Devon are being kind of hunted down by the Inquisitors now, because there's 2 of them.
Yep.
Yay. So you get Devon is fighting against a whole basically group of Imperials, and with the Inquisitors kind of approaching, and Rylee's kind of hidden, and then you get to the climactic moment where Maul was there too, helping them. Sorry.
The titular character.
He was also there because he was trying to get, obviously, Devon to escape with him so that he could train her to be his little baby Sith apprentice.
Yeah.
But Devon was kind of torn because she's trying to get Rylee still, and then Rylee ends up getting captured by Imperials.
Yeah.
And she tries to jump onto the ship, and then that doesn't work because, well, think about it. And then she falls to a different sort of area and eventually goes and finds Daki and Lawson, tells them what happens. They're kind of like, ah.
Yeah. And potentially, if she were stronger with the Force, she'd be able to make the jump that she was trying to. She was pretty close, I believe, in the episode.
She was very close.
She did not make it. And so, that's what leads them to finally getting the whole gang back together, minus Mini Lawson.
Mini Lawson, yeah.
Boy.
And then you get Darth Maul and his crew are trying to escape, and so they make it to this big long bridge that's really, really cool and beautiful looking when they designed it artistically. And they're just trying to get to the ship, and there's so many Imperial forces everywhere, and you end up with 3 of his guys try to take the ship and betray them, except they explode.
Yes.
So I guess sucks to be them. And then Maul fights both Inquisitors simultaneously and kind of holds his own. They kill one of his Zabrak bros, which was sad.
It was very sad.
And then Maul falls down like a really large fall again.
Yeah, I think the Inquisitors were closing in.
Yeah,
and
he force pulled rocks down on them.
Right, which is we'll see. That's a repeating theme of this show. Is just pull the rocks down, and actually, it already is repeated from previous episodes.
Yeah,
so
I think Maul just likes pulling rocks.
One trick alien.
Yes, which also is why I think later on a certain someone was able to fight against him so easily.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get to that. But yeah, and he does this cool little, he jumps out of the way of the falling rocks that are falling on the Inquisitors that he has caused to fall, and he does this cool move where he turns his lightsaber on, and then he starts spinning around like a drill, to go through the bridge instead of landing on it. So that's how he lands down in a cave.
Yes. Underneath,
which I thought was really interesting. I had not seen that before, at least. I don't know if it's ever happened before. But really interesting.
I don't know.
I think
it might be a similar sort of power type thing that Palpatine to what Palpatine uses in the third movie when he like 960s into 2 Jedi.
I just feel like
there were 2 others.
The physics of that.
Well,
like, yes, your lightsaber is going to go straight through it, and yes, he's spinning, but he's not holding the lightsaber at an angle to where it would like spin around something and then put like,
it's the force.
Cut a hole. It's just like the saber would cut a hole through, but then the rest of his body would still slam into the ground. Anyway, really cool move. Physics of it, I'm not entirely sure of, but regardless, that is kind of what leads then into what Chapter 8 is.
Yes.
The creeping fear. A hasty escape plan proves dangerous while an isolated Maul regroups. So this is where him being in a cave at the end of the previous episode actually is a big deal, because this is essentially a symbolism of him like figuring some stuff out about himself, I guess. And so like he's crawling through this cave as like a bit of a journey to understanding these things, and there's a very, very strong wind sand going through this entire tunnel. I'm not entirely sure that would actually be happening in the tunnel, so I feel like that was just part of this whole mystic, force stuff that's going on. But regardless, it was really cool, and he was like seeing what I do not understand the art in. Okay, so we always talk about the art. The art in this episode is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily because it's like some of the craziest, really nice artwork and whatnot that we've seen throughout the rest of the show, because we have seen that throughout the rest of the show, and we will continue to.
Yes.
But in this episode, it's like he's seeing visions in the sand that's flying by him. And so, if you haven't seen the episode, what's wrong with you? But also, just imagine for a second, okay, a bunch of wind is blowing a very, very large quantity of sand in your direction.
Black
and
sand
you're
dust
seeing
storm.
Stuff through the sand. Like you're seeing, they may be a little faded images, but you're seeing in the sand other stuff happening a little farther away. They're actually capturing this in 2-dimensional artwork in a kind of watercolory art style. Yeah. Which this show, as you go throughout the show, it gets even more and more watercolored.
Which is really cool.
Which is so nice. But doing that like in the sand, and so it's like there are these layers that are happening, and I don't believe that they could have just literally made the layer of the event that they're animating and then the layer of the sand on top. Like it had to have been all done together.
It needed to have blended somehow.
Yeah, like I can't even explain what I'm trying to get you to visualize. So if you have not seen the episode, go and see it. But it is crazy. It is really, really good. But a lot of those visions are like things that we've seen in the Clone Wars. I do remember at least that. I'm sure there were some other visions and some other sound bites that we're hearing from other Star Wars properties that I don't immediately know, because I'm not a massive Star Wars nerd. Maybe Gabe would know, and maybe he'll bring it up in a second when I'm done talking. But I really enjoyed throughout the entire episode this thing, and it's kind of cut through the whole episode, because the other part of the episode is Lawson trying to free his son from the jail. But Gabe,
yes,
is there anything else that you wanted to mention references wise from that sand tunnel?
I don't think so. There's honestly not a whole lot Maul related in Disney licensing right now besides the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he shows up in Phantom Menace and he, quote unquote, dies.
Yeah.
And then Clone Wars is like, what if we brought him back?
Yeah.
And nothing else is okay with that.
Yeah, I do believe some of the sound bites are from the movie.
Yes. I would imagine a couple are from the movie.
And there was one where Qui-Gon is the one who cut him up, right? Not Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's the one who cut him up because he butchered Qui-Gon.
Oh, that's right. So he kills Qui-Gon in the movie. Then Obi-Wan is big mad, obviously, and is trying to kill Maul. But in that, we did see a scene, an animated version of that scene
really
where,
cool.
First of all, we got some of the sound effects of like the laser force field things, or just the force field things. I don't know why I said laser. The force field things turning off from, like, that's just a soundbite from the movie. And then they also then animated the scene of Obi-Wan lurching towards him.
Yeah.
And I did watch the New Rockstars video on this. And I do believe they mentioned that there was it's a slight discrepancy, but it's potentially not actually a discrepancy, but a creative choice, that when he first started to lurch at Maul, he still had his regular blue lightsaber. Mm-hmm. But in this clip that we get animated, we see him with a green lightsaber. And the green lightsaber is the one that cut him up. So potentially it's just Maul is like remembering, the lightsaber color that cut me up,
Yeah, I mean,
trauma.
He did get sliced in half.
But that's the only thing where it's like, that's the only thing where it's
I
it's
think
not,
I'd forget what color lightsaber, too.
It's the only thing that's not, like, I know it's pulling from Clone Wars, from movies, I'm sure that there are a couple of other things.
Perhaps.
But I don't know them that well. I do know that, and I just wanted to mention the potential that's like either a discrepancy or an intentional choice. But that's the only thing that's not like directly. It's supposed to be directly from, but it's not technically directly from the another Star Wars property. But so to get into the other part of the episode, which is kind of less interesting plot because that was really good, but it's still really interesting, which is trying to break out the what's his name?
Rylee, but
Rylee,
Mini Lawson is
Mini
fine.
Lawson, yeah. So Rylee Mini Lawson is from previous episodes, or the previous episode, captured, and so got to break him out. And Maul also is able to. At some point in this episode, they do all meet back up, right?
Yeah, it's chapter 9 that they meet up. Episode 9, because that's when he does the whole dream thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Maul meets back up with his group at the end of this episode.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it
These
is.
do all kind of blend together because
Vario's kind of like, "Where's Maul? We should probably leave." And Maul just kind of like hobbles in, and they're like, there he is.
Okay, I do remember that actually. So just in this episode, then they get 2 boots to break protocol and break
2 boots.
Mini Lawson, Rylee out, and they send Devon to go get a escape vehicle, and she picks a really nice one. That's their escape vehicle. They do in fact escape with it, and then that leads to chapter 9.
Yes, chapter 9, called Strange Allies. The blurb is, "Trust tested as newly forged allies navigate the only way out."
And before we get into the details of this episode, I just want to remind you all to like, subscribe, leave a comment, reminder, big L in the chat for Judah. And what else? Oh, go to Off the Record JK on Instagram if you are so inclined. And yeah, if you for some reason dislike this video, then do also leave a dislike, because any engagement does help for us to know, like...
We will judge you, though, because this is, like, the best TV show.
Yeah.
So.
You can't dislike the show. You can dislike us, but you cannot dislike the show.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. All right. So, chapter 9, you kind of picks up after both groups have settled in a little bit. And you've got your good guy group with Lawson and Devon and all of them, and Daki, 2 boots.
Eco Dio Daki.
Eek Dio Daki.
It's Eco. I was wrong last time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Eco Dio Daki?
Eco Dio Daki. I was actually...
Really?
Because... I like to try to fix the
checking.
transcript on these as much as possible, although I've been kind of giving up recently. Although it has also gotten a lot better recently, except names are still not very good.
It is Eco Diodaki. You are right.
And so I copy and paste them over to make sure that they're spelled right. And I noticed there's an extra syllable there that I totally missed. Well, it's less satisfying to say Eco Diodaki than Eek Diodaki, but...
Correction. Eco Diodaki. Anyway, so you get all of the good guys are over there. They've got Mini Lawson back now, so we're happy. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to figure out, how do we get out, right? Now, I think we forgot to mention this at the end of Chapter 8, was Vario got a little call from Dryden Vos, who is, like, the second in command of Crimson Dawn Crime Syndicate.
If you've ever seen Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Yes, they're mentioned, and they're a big part of that.
Which I have, so I understood these references.
Yay!
And this, like, how,
Yeah.
And, the future. So, slight spoilers and all that. But, I understood.
But you get Dryden, we get more detail on that offer, and it's basically, if Maul goes with Dryden to escape through Dryden's ship at this rendezvous point he's provided, then Maul must, in return, kill Dryden's boss so that Dryden can become the leader of Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Maul says, done, I'm going to do it. So then he uses his force powers and his little connection with Devon because he saved her life to plant this idea of meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up. A sort of uneasy alliance is formed so that they can both escape because Captain Lawson knows how to get out of the city and Maul has a ship. And that's, makes sense.
Yeah.
So
that's what we were talking about in the previous video that we made on this about, like, where would it be right to, like, make an uneasy alliance over here with Maul? This is it. This is definitely it.
And so I'm glad that they did, because it was something that we were kind of being like, let's not be stupid, and Iko Dio Daki kind of figured it out. Yeah. So then they, are running through a whole path through the city. Maul goes on a crazy rampage, kills a bunch of things so that they can get into this sort of power plant area and go into a deep tunnel. They're being followed by the Inquisitors, and then they have one of the most epic lightsaber battles, like, ever. Yeah. As they're trying to cross this chasm that's a little bit too big to force jump across.
Yeah. They could do it in 2 jumps, which does come up later.
Yes, they can do it in 2 jumps.
Yeah.
So, super awesome, super fast, but still really detailed lightsaber battles. Like, that's amazing.
And there were so much
going on.
Lightsaber combatants in this. There was just so much going on.
3 of them had double-sided lightsabers, though, so there was like...
Yes. 3 of them had double-sided. 2 of them were Jedi.
Oh, no, there's 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lightsabers going around?
Yes. So the
crazy.
The baddest of the bad guys had 4 sabers to go around, and then
the good guy
also had
4
sabers.
If we count Maul as a good guy for now.
Now, those scales will be unbalanced by the next episode. We'll talk about that. But I remember specifically counting as well for the next episode how many lightsabers are happening here. So we'll get back to that.
But it was so cool, and even the battle and like the fire fight that was happening while the lightsaber battle was going on was also cool. You see a bunch of Maul's, the rest of Maul's friends, but not quite all of them. All but 2, I think. We've got Rook Cast and unnamed Mandalorian dude.
Yeah.
And Vario, but he doesn't really.
Yeah. And we did unfortunately have the other of his.
Yes, the other Zabrak dies.
Has also died.
Kind of commits suicide to take 3
so he knows that he's
him.
Going down because I believe he'd been shot once or twice. And so he knew he was going down, and so there was a crowd of 3 clone troopers, and so he just like rammed into them and pulled all 4 of them down into the acid below, which is very, very fast acting acid, by the way. Yeah. But
which is probably why it smells gross.
Yeah.
As I mentioned in the show.
So I've pulled up the episode 9 right here, and I wanted to pause it at a specific spot during the lightsaber battle that I thought was really interesting. Okay, so everybody swings at the same time. Literally all... Let's see. I don't see Eek. Oh, no, Eek's in the middle there. Yeah, so all of them. 5. All 5 of them had Iko. That name. Okay.
Just say Daki.
Daki. So all 5 of them swing at the same time, and then all lightsabers are in frame. All people, all lightsaber wielders are in frame at the same time. All of their lightsabers in kind of like a circle on the outside of everybody.
They're all
hitting each other. And in the exact same frame. Like, I've paused it on the frame, and there's Maul double-sided with...
You should put that as the cover.
I might. Both Inquisitors. At a minimum, I need to take a screenshot and add it so that you can see what I'm talking about. But Maul has his... both ends of his lightsaber are One is on one of the Inquisitor. One is at the other
I
Inquisitor.
think that one's the 11th.
I believe so. Yes. I think I saw it at least in the subtitling of one of these episodes, but I think it was also mentioned in the episodes. But then one of the Inquisitors has obviously Maul, and then Devon. The other Inquisitor has Maul as well as Eco, and then let's see, that's about it. Yeah, yep. But like they're in the same frame, like they all just boom at the same time. I thought that was really cool. I literally had to pause and go back during the first watching of this as well last night to just look at this and appreciate it. Again, the art, as well as the kind of fight choreography, but it's art, so it's not like really choreography, but also kind of that's going on with this. Just so good, so good. Anyway,
okay, is Icarus the name of?
I don't know. But by the end of the episode, first of all, the little robot guy dies. Not Two Boots. The little flying robot that's
yes, the Spybot.
Been around. Yeah,
Spybot.
That I
think that's like actually his name.
Yeah. But then everybody does get across.
Honestly, kind of sad.
And do you wanna say it?
Yes. So they get across, and they're still going, and you get the Inquisitors are like, it's okay. They're heading towards him now, and we're like, who's him? Is this like a third Inquisitor? Are we just going crazy?
Yeah.
And then Rook Cast and the unnamed Mandalorian guy, they run up ahead, and you hear screams, and she comes running back, and she's like, someone's coming. And then she gets like horror movie style pulled into the fog. Mm-hmm. And then out walks a certain someone that we all know and potentially love. But we know what he doesn't love, and that's sand.
Yeah. So he would not have liked the previous episode.
Yeah, thankfully, he's not in sand. He's in a swamp.
Yeah, it's Anakin Skywalker.
It's Anakin Skywalker, but
nothing else.
Now he's Lord Vader.
Nah, nothing else. It's just Anakin.
Yes.
Little old Annie. He just wanted to
It's
come say
actually
hi.
child version Anakin.
He just wanted to visit, see what's going on, join in on the fun.
So you get...
Kill everyone.
Darth Vader shows up, and that's kind of the end of the episode.
Yep. And then that leads directly into the start of the next episode, which I wanted to point out, in Disney, they just...
called episode 10.
They just put episode 10. They don't even say chapter 10. They say episode 10, no title. It does have a title. You have to open the episode and then get to the title card to see what the title is, because they don't want to spoil what happened in the end of the last episode. Because even though it happened in the end of the last episode, since it was at the very end of the episode, somebody who's just like watching, and if they're dropping both episodes at the same time, and they announce the titles of all the episodes ahead of time and all of that, it would have been a spoiler.
I imagine they might change it to reflect the actual episode title
after
in a
some
couple
time
weeks.
has passed. Yeah, certainly by the time another season.
Oh, definitely.
But I don't remember exactly what it's called, so let me pull up it's called The Dark Lord, I believe. Yeah. Chapter 10, The Dark Lord. So that would have been quite spoilery to just like put that out there. So anyway, that's great. But we get essentially they immediately start wait, let me get here. Okay. They immediately start fighting.
Yep.
It just starts off from the frame that we left on Vader in the previous episode.
But now with his Imperial music.
Yes. And can I get the little blurb? Does it even have one?
I think it's got,
It does. One last test, one last chance to escape and survive. So.
Yeah. Do you want to do this one?
Absolutely. We have another really interesting fight. Maul takes the first swing against Lord Vader over here. Everybody joins in. And eventually the non-lightsaber wielders realize they're not going to be helpful. In fact, they're just going to be in the way.
Well, and that's one thing I wanted to say about this first part of the fight especially is Vader doesn't do anything. He doesn't try. He just moves his lightsaber a little bit. Like, it's such a display of power.
Yeah.
And then
if you've seen the original trilogy, it was very reminiscent of that for me.
Yes.
for Vader, where it's just like very slow, very encumbered.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously wearing this massive suit over top, so he can't be making these wide swings or fast swings or doing any like fancy jumping all over the place and whatnot that sometimes we do see. And I appreciated it because what that really makes it seem to me like is because we have seen Vader do that now in some more recent Star Wars titles. That makes it seem like when he's doing that, it's just that he's not actually being challenged very much.
Right.
And so right here, he wasn't being challenged very much. That also means in retrospect, he wasn't being challenged very much in the original trilogy either. When he, commits a murder. So.
Well, that kind of the point is that he wasn't being challenged much, and Obi-Wan also wasn't trying very much.
Well, yeah, Obi-Wan,
he was just distracting him.
Yes, so. Obi-Wan, first of all, was just distracting him, but also like
is old.
Realized that he needed to just be resigned to the fact that he's gonna die here. Like he maybe potentially could have won the fight, but realized that he shouldn't.
Yeah,
I guess he had to go become one with the Force so he could be a Force ghost and like Force ghost all over the place.
Well, it was the only way to ensure that everybody else would escape.
Yeah,
all the way. And
so it does make sense then that.
But yes, I really
Vader here
appreciated that they chose to animate him like that.
Yes.
And animate it in such a way that they didn't slow everybody else down to match him. They just had him casually block their attacks. Yeah. Like it was
like he could tell what their fighting style was going to be because obviously former Jedi, so he knows how to fight like a Jedi, but also Sith, so he knows how to fight like a Sith. And so he's able to kind of see what everybody else is going to be doing in the fight. So he doesn't have to, see a lightsaber's coming at him and really quickly adjust to block it. He knows that once he blocks this Force over, once he knows that once he blocks over on the left here, that Iko is going to come from the right and he's going to do his swing, and so he just very nonchalantly just moves the lightsaber over there as well because he just knows how the fighting styles are. Yeah. And I do really appreciate that. It's really good. But we are getting quite far into this episode, so gotta fast forward a little bit. It is a lot of fighting. There's just a lot of fighting going back and forth. We get a little bit more of the Syndicate. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Syndicate. Yeah, that's the name of the Syndicate.
Okay, but it is a Syndicate. Got it. So the Syndicate is coming over. We get a couple lines of dialogue there, and how potentially this is a bad idea.
Maul, in relation to them all fighting Vader, is trying to tell Daki and Devon they need to fight more aggressive because Vader won't expect it.
They need to fight more angry.
Yeah, like specifically angry, but he's kind of started settling for like just fight aggressively.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Jedi are kind of like, we're peacekeepers. We're just going to kind of like block and stuff unless you're Obi-Wan or Anakin.
And we also get a couple of scenes where Devon is alone with Maul, and Maul is using those moments to also try to further bring her over to his side a little bit.
But obviously she's still loyal to her master.
Yeah. And so now they have gone out onto another bridge. A lot of bridges in this show.
Bridges are cool. What can I say?
And this one has a very large fall underneath it, although nobody comes even close to ever falling into it, really.
Yeah.
We'll get there. One of the Inquisitors will eventually.
Yeah.
But that really has entirely to do with something else. So
then the two Inquisitors pop back up.
They do.
And so now you've got 3 bad guys, 3 quote unquote good guys fighting each other.
But this time they keep it separated into 2 battles.
Yes.
And so we have first Devon versus one of the Inquisitors, and then we have
brother.
Vader, the other Inquisitor, Iko, and Maul are all fighting as well. At a certain point, Iko then moves over to the fight with Devon to help her, and then I think the other Inquisitor also joins in on that, and then that just leaves Maul and Vader alone, which, family reunion, wonderful.
Yeah.
Dark side family reunion, whatnot.
Just for a brief moment. So Maul and Vader. Well, Eek was...
And actually, it does turn into just 3 separate fights for a time, too.
There's a second where 3 separate fights, and then we get Marek, which is the first brother, gets kind of force-pushed off of this bridge. And I'm pretty sure that's the last we see of him in this show.
I didn't think it
so
was
far?
force pushed. I thought he
or maybe
was
he just
blown
was he blown off?
up. Oh wait.
Wait, let's see here.
Did I already skip past it? I am just skipping through this episode here.
Yeah, he's force pushed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Eco force pushes him off.
Eco
I thought that
force pushed.
Because we also have some stuff happening in the not really background, but we have another set of fights happening between the non-force wielding individuals,
and they're blaster battling it out.
Yes, and there's
crazy.
like ships and there's a turret and all sorts of stuff happening there. So I thought one of them was able to blow up one of the ships, and then that is what kind of blew the Inquisitor off of the thing. They do blow up a bunch of ships in this, but that is not what caused it. It was Eco.
Yes.
I'm just misremembering.
We do know this doesn't actually kill Merrick because, spoilers, potentially, Kirk, he shows up in the Ahsoka show and is there, and that's post-Empire. So
I'm really not surprised by that, because large falls
don't kill anyone.
Usually stop somebody who has the Force.
Yeah.
So, not exactly shocking.
Yes.
But we have a moment where they need a distraction, and so they get Vario.
This is the non-lightsaber people.
Yes. Because they need to get the turret so that they can shoot down the ship, so that the ship that's coming to get them can land without being shot down immediately.
Yes.
And so they need a distraction. They use Ludi Vario to be that distraction because he's the smallest and least likely to be hit. He's not exactly stoked about this, but he does eventually acquiesce. And then I believe it's Two Boots actually gets on the turret when that happens.
Yes, Two Boots grabs the turret and drops like 4 ships.
He does.
This guy is like a menace.
Goated. Genuinely. Not following protocol anymore, are we, Two Boots? Really shouldn't have taken his 2 boots away. But
For real.
He gets injured. And the mini Lawson boy goes and helps him out.
And then we flash back to the lightsaber battle, and we see kind of Maul realize he's going to go help Devon.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of initially left to wonder, like, is this Devon needed help or like what? And that's explained in a minute, because simultaneously you get Lawson looks down and watches Maul leave the battle between Vader and Daki.
Yes.
And then you get the battle between Vader and Daki, and obviously Vader is stronger. And
at this point, I also another thing I appreciated in Vader's fighting style is at this point he's just angrily swinging.
Yeah, he's just hacking.
Like literally, it's like he is holding an axe and he's just like hacking into somebody's body.
Yeah,
is how he's fighting right now, and it's really cool. It's very Vader.
It's almost like he's still not trying. He just wants. He's just like, stop fighting. Is basically like, what his swings are saying.
This is just a waste of my time.
Give up.
Yeah.
And he kills Daki with Devon in view.
Yeah, Devon is watching up from. She has a brief respite from the fighting above, and she's able.
And this is kind of where we realize, oh, okay, that's why Maul left.
Yeah.
Maul.
I mean, you could see it coming, but this is when it's confirmed.
But it was kind of the like, are we sure Maul's that evil? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. This is Maul, guys. This is Maul.
And Devon doesn't realize that Maul intentionally abandoned Daki.
She fell for it.
She fell exactly into his little ploy. Yeah. So then Devon and Maul kind of fight against the 13th brother, and they do well, and eventually Vader pops back up in their fight, and they just kind of like run away because Maul pulls rocks down again.
Yeah. It's again
and then
a signature move.
More blaster fighting with the blaster people. It's crazy and all that, and the finally, ship, Vos's ship, has landed now, and so you've got Vario climbs up first, and Vos is like, "Where's Maul?" And he's like, "He's coming. I promise. I promise."
And then we, everybody else is so presently all these still alive, lightsaber wielders are.
Making their way.
Yeah, but they're a little bit farther away. Yes. And so they're still partly in battle and then partly also coming back over here.
Yeah.
And so for the moment, we just have kind of pinned down everybody else. And
everyone else is very pinned down.
Lawson has an opportunity to take the cannon again.
Yes, he sees a large group of new stormtroopers walk up, and he picks up the cannon, and just starts
Yep.
mowing them down.
And so he's the distraction.
He is.
And everybody else is able to get on the ship. And
That's
then...
Two Boots and Mini Lawson.
Yes, Two Boots, Mini Lawson.
And then Maul and Devon.
Ludi already did get in.
Yeah.
And...
There's no one else. Everybody else
Maul,
has basically died.
Yeah, Maul and Devon do kind of run in at the last second as well. And then...
And Captain Lawson tragically dies.
So sad. And then at the very end, first of all, we get a image of... Where is it? I can see it, but I can't skip to it for some reason. But it's just Vader is looking at them fly away, and he's like, "Oh man, again? Well, at least I killed one of the Jedi."
Yeah.
And then I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking. By the way, we get some more scenes in space. They go to hyperdrive, and then we get just a couple of scenes at the very end of Devon is mourning the loss of her master on the ship, and then Mini Lawson is mourning the loss of Major Lawson on the ship as well. And it's big sad, and Maul promises to train Devon to be angry more, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the whole selling point is, I will train you to be angry more often.
Yeah, basically. But I think one really big creative choice they did was there was a point right before they started running towards the ship where Devon lost her lightsaber and Maul threw one of his too, because his separate, towards her, and so she was fighting with a red lightsaber,
which is a callback to episode 2,
right? And kind of reflects she's changed back to, or kind of changed to that aggressive nature. And that's kind of where it leaves off with the everybody's dead and mourning dead people, or their Maul, and they're escaping.
And that's where we leave this season. Kind of on a cliffhanger, although also like
you can
a lot of things
in the puzzle.
Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things that they started, they also finished. There's a lot of hanging threads that still need to be dealt with, and so that's where season 2 comes in. And I have every ounce of faith that they will do this properly.
Oh, yeah.
This has been great. So for a bit of a season retrospective. First of all, I wanted to say that these are like 9.9, 9.8
easily.
Out of 10 rating of these last 4 episodes, and the later of the 4 episodes are the best of them.
Definitely.
But they're all really good. And then the series on a whole for me, like, I'm 9.5 out of 10. Like,
it's very good.
Episodes 1 and 2, I did already mention. I wasn't the most interested to continue on with this. I knew I would, and I knew that it wasn't a horrible story, but I wasn't the most interested, and I wasn't exactly looking forward to the following episodes. But then from episodes 3 and 4, I was starting to get a lot more interested, and so overall, again, 9.5.
Yeah.
What about you? Last 4 episodes, and then also the season.
Last 4 episodes, easily the best. I would give them 9.9 to 10, depending on specific moments or the whole episodes. Season overall, I would probably say about a 9.8. I agree it had a slow start, but they had to introduce all of those characters because this is a completely new cast apart from Maul.
Yeah.
But really, I think what I really just love is the lightsaber battles in this are amazing.
Yeah.
All of them. And they just get better.
They do.
As they get more intense.
They get more epic.
They get more epic, yeah. These lightsaber battles are like Duel of the Fates worthy. And I'm meaning this song. Because that song is epic and makes you feel like reenacting live lightsaber battles. Mm-hmm. These are lightsaber battles I want to reenact.
Yeah. These are crazy good.
They're so good.
I watch pretty much everything usually I watch everything at about 2 times speed. This show, I've defaulted to 1.5 speed because it's good and I want to appreciate it more. Anytime there's been a lightsaber fight, I have pulled it back down to the way it was intended at 1 time speed because they're just so good and I need to appreciate them for what they're supposed to be. And the art in them, and the art through the whole show, so good. I love the aesthetic. kind of changing throughout the entire show as it gets, especially in terms of things that are in the background or other minor details, even if they are in the foreground, are becoming more and more like watercolor paint, and not only that, but like bleeding watercolors more than like if it was like a very nicely done, very coloring inside the lines version of watercolor, which it was earlier on. And then it's kind of everything's gone out of the lines, out of bounds a little bit more in the art style, which is really interesting. And I think it also gets across, the fact that, first of all, we have some characters who are going, outside the law a little bit here, who are previously law enforcement. We have these good characters who are like wondering what the boundaries are, and then we have some bad characters who are just trying to break the boundaries down altogether. And I think that's symbolized in the artwork, not following lines, like straight lines anymore. It's watercolor paint, notoriously does not follow any lines and structure like that.
Yep.
But then it, even as the show goes on, it bleeds more and more and more into everything else around it, until it's more like a blob of various different colors interacting in the background, which is so good.
Yeah.
Expertly done. Love this show. I could talk about it for a very, very long time. But unfortunately, we are already coming up on one of the longest videos we've released recently. So,
yes. It definitely deserves to be thus.
Absolutely. Really quickly, I also wanted to mention that we are potentially down the line, once the full series, which I believe it should be 5 issues, is released for the tie-in comic series of Star Wars Maul, which is like a prequel to this show.
I think so.
We will potentially be covering that as well, once it's all wrapped up, and see, is it as good? Because obviously, if you look at a previous comic sack we did, you and Judah and Gabe covered the first issue, and it was a little disappointing.
It was. We got Maul in the last thing.
And then I read it, and I had the exact same opinion on it. So that was a little disappointing, and I would be very interested to see, does it get better? Is it as good as this show? Is it better than the show? Kind of hard since we gave it nearly perfect grading. But stick around to find out. So make sure you hit that notification bell. But that's about all we have for today. So really quickly, do you have a drink shout out?
Drink shout out. Let's do cream soda.
Oh, goated shout out.
Yes.
Goated shout out. That's great. I need to go buy some.
I've been craving that recently.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, good evening, and good night. God bless.
God bless.
Bye.